You've got this thing that's probably incurable, that you've probably been given from birth. Tough luck, deal with it. And yet here you are trying to heal yourself. That is incredible. Hey beautiful, welcome to today's video, which is episode 3 of my series, My PCOS Life Mastery. And today's episode is all about rethinking hormonal hair loss. So if you have been following my channel, my journey for a while now, you will more than likely already know my story in terms of my PCOS and my hair loss, amongst all my other symptoms that I have gone through to get to where I am now on my healing journey. So if you don't know it, I will just super quickly run through it. My hair was very thin when I was first diagnosed with PCOS. When I was 18, almost 19. It was just like that for years. It wouldn't really grow past there. It would just break all the time. It was just not good hair. And yeah, it fell out quite a lot. So that was, I guess, just what I kind of lived with. And then for years, I've kind of been on this like nutritional healing through food and supplements and things like that. So my hair got really, really good. And then I came off the pill. And it basically undone any kind of progress I had made on my health journey at that point. It was horrendous. So I ended up losing like half of my hair all over again. It was the worst I've ever experienced it. So yeah, since coming off the pill, it's really just been a deep dive into a deep healing journey for me. It was all the way back in 2019 that I came off the pill in the summer, and then it was towards the kind of autumn time where, yeah, life got pretty tough with symptoms galore, and yeah, PCOS kind of just really took hold of my life at that time. So I managed to get my hair loss under control. I managed to kind of like stop so much hair falling out, and ever since then it's kind of just been regrowing. I'm not like a thick-haired person. I've always had quite fine hair. It's just my hair type, I guess. But you know, there's a huge difference between having fine hair and having hair that is falling out in clumps all the time. So I don't have that now. You know, I get a very normal amount of hair fall. When I wash it, when I brush it, it's like totally okay. So in this video, I really just want to share from a different point of view to where I was at when I first started this journey. You know, how I viewed my hair loss way at the start, where, you know, most of you may be at now, hence why you're watching this video about hair loss, is you probably looking for help like I was. You know, I searched every single nook and cranny on the internet to just try and find it. Some of it didn't work at all, some of it worked, but the biggest changes have actually been developed throughout my journey. You know, big like realizations of why I had hair loss in the first place, and you know what it really means, and like how to view it in such a different way. So in my self-healing empowerment community, this is something that I talk about a lot. It is that healing absolutely anything should be looked at in two parts. So you've got your physical, biological side of healing, such as, you know, what you eat, what you apply, you know, on your skin, on your hair, all of that kind of stuff. You know, that physical, biological side of healing. And then there's also the energetic, emotional side of healing, which they are both equally important. And I would actually argue that the energetic and emotional side of healing is actually even more important to get right. So what does that mean in terms of hormonal hair loss, right? So firstly, it's important to know that all symptoms are our body healing. The symptoms are not our body being sick. You know, this is a massive misconception across the board. You know, I never thought like this either until I've dived deeper into the actual science of it. And when we are experiencing a physical symptom, it is actually our body's response to us healing. So the hair loss, for an example, is our body's response to a conflict elsewhere in the body. It's the body's response to dis-ease in the body. So when I first learned this, I was like that's massive, because it kind of takes the spotlight off the symptom then, and we can kind of actually step back a little bit with a bit more compassion and be like, okay, wait a minute, this symptom is not the enemy. This symptom is actually what is trying to get me better. You know, this is my body actually really trying hard to get me better. And if you're familiar with my hair loss meditation that I've got on YouTube, you know, I mentioned something similar in that, where it's your body actually using that energy somewhere else, somewhere more important, because this conflict, this disease is actually more serious than just the hair on your head. You know, if you think about your body and all the systems, and, you know, the hormone endocrine system is just so important for your overall health and well-being. So of course your hair is less important than fixing something major. You know, if your body is in this kind of survival mode because of whatever the conflict that's going on, then of course your hair is not as important as your body thinking it's trying to survive from whatever it's actually going through, you know? So I think that is so important. You know, the more your hair is falling out, don't think, I'm getting sicker. It's like, no, your body is actually just put the foot on the pedal and is like, I'm gonna get you better. This is us healing. We're gonna do this. You know, your body is incredible. Your body is not going against you ever. You know, we hear about this so much in like Western medicine, where, you know, people have these diseases where the body is like attacking itself, and it's just, that is just never the case. Your body will never try to attack itself. And if it looks like that, it is actually your body's response to a conflict somewhere else, where your body is actually trying to keep you alive, keep you well in whatever way that it can. So we need to stop like demonizing symptoms and actually understand, wait a minute, why is this? You know, why is my hair falling out? Why is this imbalance? Whether that's an emotional imbalance or a physical imbalance, where is this imbalance at the root that's actually causing my hair to fall out? You know, so often we go to the doctors and what they can provide us is symptom treatment. If that, they can suppress a symptom by covering it up with some kind of pharmaceutical drug until a later date when you come off it, and then you have to deal with the real root cause of it all. So being able to kind of actually just overtake all of that and be like, right, my hair is falling out. Why is it falling out? Where can I look at in my own life right now and actually have a bit more of an understanding as to what my body must be going through and what your body is telling you as well. You know, if we listen, if we look, if we actually spend time connecting with ourselves, we can learn so much about where we're at with our health, like so much more than anyone outside of us could actually tell us. You know, there's just so much to learn about ourselves when we actually take that time to listen in. So what is causing your hormonal imbalance? I cannot tell you that. It could be such a range of things. You know, so often we are told it's just something that we're born with, and that's okay. If you want to believe that, then that's fine. But for me, and most likely for you, because you're watching this now, you want to find another way. You want to find a way to get this sorted, rather than just say, that's just how it is. We're just going to have to live with this forever. You know, actually having that curiosity and wanting to dive deep into what is actually causing this. Because at the end of the day, your health, your well-being is worth it, isn't it? It's worth, you know, taking that time to actually have a deeper understanding of your body and understanding of your health, and, you know, where in your life any of this could have occurred. You know, it could have been something you were born with because of trauma within the womb. It could have literally began there. But then it could have accumulated throughout your life as well, your younger life, or even into your adult life. Wherever you are at now, whatever age you are now within this body of yours currently, your PCOS could stem from any of that, any of your life. And it might not just have one thing. It might be an accumulation. You know, I definitely believe mine is an accumulation of different traumas, different beliefs, poorly handled stress, not knowing the right foods to eat, not having the right practice in place. But when we actually decide, okay, I'm gonna look deeper at this and I'm gonna give it my all to figure out what's going on here, then we are actually empowering ourselves so much. Like, that is the most empowering thing ever. And so many people don't do that. So many people are like, okay, I'm diagnosed, I'm sick, whatever, you know, I'm only gonna allow people outside of me to have responsibility over my health and be able to tell me how it is. But if you're here watching this now, then chances are you are one of the incredible individuals who have been handed these cards of, you've got this thing that's probably incurable, that you've probably been given from birth. Tough luck, deal with it. And yet here you are trying to heal yourself. That is incredible. And I hope you can feel that. I hope you can feel that sense of empowerment as to how huge that is, that you're actually even on this journey, that you're actually even giving this a go. Because there's so many that wouldn't. There is so many that wouldn't even try. There's so many people that are just so far from ever even being ready to look at themselves. You know, that is actually one of the hardest things in the world to do, is actually to look at yourself. So many people don't want to do that. But yet here you are trying to figure out a solution. So I hope you're proud of yourself. I am so proud of you. And I have so much hope and belief for you on this journey of yours. So what is the emotional cause, the energetic cause at the root? Yeah, like it's so important to figure that out. And it might take a while. But then also looking at the daily habits. What is your daily energetic state? What is your daily emotional practice? You know, are you good at managing your stress? Are you taking that time out to manage your stress every day? Because let's face it, this human life here, especially now, in fact, just always, it's stressful. You know, it is stressful being a human on earth. Most of the time it is stressful. So if we're not taking time out in our day, every day, even if it's just a really small amount of time, how can we expect to have our stress under control? You know, we've got to just take that step for ourselves and take that responsibility for our stress management, because it's huge when it comes to hair loss. I mean, we've probably all heard of like this saying of like, oh, you know, I'm so stressed, like my hair is falling out or whatever. It is so linked to our emotional health and our emotional well-being. So just taking a look at where you're at with that, you know, how well do you handle that? How much time do you devote to that aspect of your life? Because let's face it, stress is always going to be there. It is always going to be there. And sometimes it's going to be intense, you know. Sometimes life is going to throw some curve balls. And in those moments, we can either just crumble and let our health be really badly affected, or we can recognize where we're at, what this huge stress is, and we can implement this practice so that we can keep well, so that we don't let our situation get the better of us, resulting in huge imbalance in our bodies, resulting in our bodies trying their best to heal, resulting in these annoying symptoms that none of us want. None of us want to lose our hair. So being able to actually just get real with what you're actually doing daily. You know, are you actually putting time aside for you to actually be well and to be your best version of health? Because nobody else can do that for you. Nobody can take your stress away. Even you could go to the best therapist and they can, you know, give you exercises and they can let you talk about it, but ultimately, unless you're doing that yourself as well, you know, that is where the magic happens. That is where having your own stress management daily practice is the biggest thing when it comes to looking after our emotional health. Also, while we're talking about the energetic and emotional side of things, what energy have we actually got around our hair? What is our inner dialogue saying? Are we constantly just hating on ourselves? Are we constantly hating on ourselves to other people out loud, externally? What is the energy that we're actually holding towards ourselves? You know, what do we think of ourselves? Are we hating our hair? Are we hating our bodies for doing this to our hair? And if so, you know, that on an energetic scale can cause the body to be in such a conflict. You know, when you're in such a deep self-loathing state, that in itself is so stressful and so harmful that alone is enough to make the body go into kind of like shock survival mode, resulting in these kind of symptoms. So it's really important to acknowledge all of that. What are you thinking about your hair? What are you saying out loud about your hair? All of these things are so important. And if they're negative, they need to be changed. Show yourself some love, show yourself some compassion, show yourself some encouragement on this journey. If you're constantly knocking yourself down, that's going to make it so much harder for you to see progress and for you to get to the next step in your results. And you can have this daily practice as well down to your hair care routine. This is something that I always do when I wash my hair. I think loving affirmations. Sometimes I even sing loving affirmations because, you know, once you get over being like a crazy person in the shower, that is some magical stuff, you know. Our voices, the frequency of our voices and the energy that we speak out loud can have some seriously powerful healing effects. But if you're not there yet, then that is totally fine. Most of my affirmations I say in my head, it's fine. It's just about feeling it, you know, really, really feeling it and really just rewiring that part of your brain that is making you hate your hair, that is making you kind of just holding you back in your healing journey. It's just about rewiring it. It's just about repetition. And the more you do it, the more it will make sense. And, you know, one day you'll just be saying it without even feeling awkward, without even thinking, oh, that's not true. I'm just like lying to myself, you know, and it will feel natural. And then next thing you know, what you see in the mirror will change as well. You know, you have to love your hair before your hair gets better. That is the biggest thing. You know, it's not about like, okay, I'm going to stop my hair loss. my hair's going to stop falling out, my hair's going to be great, and then I will love myself. That is the completely backwards way of doing it. You have to learn how to love your hair now, and then the results will come, not the other way around. So then there is the biological, physical side of things. Are you eating the best that you can be eating? And this isn't about diets. No. This is not about diets. No restriction. No, you don't even need to count your food, ever. Like, you literally never need to count your food. Forget about the diets. Focus on nourishment. Focus on beautiful, magical, nourishing, medicinal foods, you know, because foods can be so healing, and foods can also create so much disease in the body. So it's just about, you know, reducing, or better yet, eliminating the things that are just huge hormone disruptors and just things that are just not good for your health in general, and adding in more of the good stuff. So making sure you're getting a wide variety of fruit and vegetables. That should just always be the main focus of every meal. And you can make fruits and vegetables so delicious. Like, it's not about ever like having a boring salad. Like, no, you do not have to suffer to eat healthy. If you do it right, your eyes will be completely opened to how incredible food actually is, you know, when you focus on health, when you focus on fuel for your body, you know, not just boring, plain food. Because if you're not enjoying it, then there's no point doing it, because not only are you not going to stick to it, but also in terms of the energy, if you're like just not enjoying it, then that in itself is just stressful. Like, if you're eating food and you really want something else and you're eating this thing that's just like boring, then that is just unnecessary stress. That is just unnecessary like negativity that you're physically eating, physically putting into your body. So don't bother, you know, eat good food, eat delicious food. Figuring out whether you need to supplement with anything, any extra vitamins that you might be deficient in, any extra minerals, anything that you actually may need. You know, I take supplements, I take certain foods every single day, whether that's like fresh food or in powder form or supplement form, things that to me are medicine, things that keep me really, really well. So depending on what you need individually, you know, that's a great way to like round up your nutrition, is by adding in like additional things. And the same with what you put on your hair. Like, I absolutely love to put things that I know are really good for my diet on myself as well. So like, one of my favorite hair masks ever, so I kind of like make different variations all the time, but one of them that I really, really love is a mix between moringa powder, amla powder, castor oil, and rosemary oil. Now, moringa and amla powder are just incredible. I also put it on a face mask, which I'll be mentioning in the acne healing episode. But they are just so packed with vitamins, and so much vitamin C, and so much, just honestly, there's like so much incredible stuff. So because it's so powerful, actually for me, when I eat it, then I'm just like, of course it's going to be good on my hair. And it is. It's one of my favorite hair masks ever. Castor oil, of course, I think I've mentioned in like all, like in a few previous hair videos. It's kind of just, yeah, it's a good oil for hair growth. It's a really, really good oil for a mask. And rosemary is really, really good for stimulating your scalp, and also just looking after the skin on your scalp. So yeah, I really, really love that combination. But there is loads of hair mask recipes that I absolutely love, that I've used over the years, which I will be sharing soon. So I guess the main takeaway for this video is making sure you're nourished from within, making sure you're nourished on the outside, that your hair is happy and it's getting enough nutrients, and that you're caring for it properly. I've got previous videos that I will link below on actual hair care tips to make sure that you're actually not doing further damage to your hair when it is in that fragile state of healing. So physically and biologically, that is that side of things sorted. And energetically, emotionally, it's really, really important to actually spend time with yourself every day, devoted to stress management every day, devoted to actually just understanding yourself and your body and your emotions better, you know, getting comfortable with revisiting painful times in your life. Because if understanding where in your life this conflict that could be causing your hormonal imbalance has happened, you know, as painful as it is to actually sometimes go there, it's probably the most freeing thing that you will do in your entire life. Because if you can release that, which has been making you sick, then that is the biggest key to unlocking your healing, not just for your hair loss, but for everything, forever, for the rest of your life. Being able to actually identify any kind of emotional pain that you've been storing within, from anything, you know, whether you've been through a major trauma or whether you've, you know, had a nasty person say something to you that's kind of just stuck. You know, it can range from absolutely anything. And I know all of us go through our own individual traumas. So it's important to always consider that. Work on understanding yourself better, work on loving yourself better, having more compassion, having more patience, speaking about yourself better, whether that's internally or externally to other people. You know, all of these things have worked so well for me. So I hope this video has been really, really helpful. And if it has, then make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really, really helps these videos to get out to more people that need to see them. And to catch the rest of this series, make sure to subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss out on the next episode. So sending you so much love. Mwah. See you in the next one.